Hell yeah, Bob Sapp, much respect. Word on the street, coming to you live. It is March the 4th, I think, March the 4th, Tuesday, the year 2000 in Chael. As always, it continues, it always rolls on, people. We're basically going to cover the latest MMA news, latest UFC news. The word on the street, basically, is what's going to be revealed to you right now, here. You're lucky if you're listening live. It's also going to be available on iTunes and YouTube. Whenever I get off my ass and post it on the YouTube, it'll be there, people. Eventually, it all winds up somewhere. But if you're listening live, people, you've made the right choice. You're not fucking up. You're not out on the streets robbing. Or maybe there's ice out on the roads. Here in Austin, we're having that problem again right now. They told me the winter was done. That motherfucking Punxsutawney Phil, that groundhog saw his shadow or whatever. He was not bullshitting. Shit's for real. It's going down right now. There's more winter coming. I'm going through it right now, people. But yeah, stay at home. Listen to the word on the street. Tell your friends. Tell your enemies. Your girlfriends. Your ex-girlfriends. It don't matter. Your mom. Whatever. With me, as always, I'm not alone here, people. There's other people on the streets. Just like in real life. And on the word in the street, we also have characters. We got co-hosts, producers. Number one right now, Jake from the MMA podcast, producing and co-hosting. Jake, what do you hear? What do you say? Tell the people what you're all about. Break it down for us, man. I'm going to have a little drink here to get this little party started. You know what I'm saying? Party all the time. Jake, MMA podcast, what's up?
I think this podcast is over.
That's right. It ain't over. It's just begun, cocksuckers. What's going on? Ramses, as always, thank you so much for having me on. Take a puff. Take a drink. Everyone listening, if you're not following this man on Twitter already, you've made a grave error. It's the Aunt Jimmy Show on Twitter. It might change pretty soon. We don't know. But you know what? We're all a big network here. You can follow me at the MMA Podcast. We do our show at the same time, one day after the word on the street. We do it midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific. Been gunning for some interviews. Some things have fallen through lately, so nothing's happening right now. But we're still promising a big month. We're in both interviews and fights to break down. So yeah, Wednesday nights, follow us on Twitter at the MMA Podcast, themmapodcast.com. We love the shit out of you.
We don't have fans. This is a network.
Damn right, Jake. Thanks a lot. Also joining us is, earlier today I tweeted a video of a Ronda Rousey interview where she's on a Power 106 FM, some sort of hip-hop radio station or something, giving an interview. And I tweeted that, basically, Ronda's doing the interview, and she starts to sound suspiciously, like the black people that are interviewing her. And I tweeted that, whenever I'm around my black friends, I also start to talk like them. Nothing racist about it. But the truth is, people, I only have one black friend. And he's on the show right now. I sponsored this man. He is an up-and-coming jiu-jitsu fighter about to transition to MMA. He is none other than Yao the Truth, representing Queens, New York. Yao, what do you hear? What do you say? Tell the people something they don't know.
What's up, guys? How you doing tonight? It actually is the morning right now on the East Coast. 12:26. I am coming to you from the future. I am Yao the Truth. Follow me on Twitter. If you don't have one, make one and follow me. Follow me on Instagram, Yao_the Truth, as well as Twitter. All right? Grab a cup of coffee, relax. You're listening to The Word on the Street.
You're goddamn right, Yao the Truth. See, there was nothing but truth coming out of this man. And making his return to The Word on the Street, my original co-host, my homie. You won't believe it, he's back. He's fucking back, people. He is none other than the Ninja himself. Ninja, are you there? How are you doing? Where can people find you on Twitter? Anything you want to say or shout out, now's the time, goddammit, before we get on to the MMA news topics.
I am back from the depths of hell. Sometimes you send people to the pit. Sometimes the pit sends somebody back. That is the Ninja. It's a great line from a great movie, by the way. You can follow me on Twitter at the Ninja Larson, the original Ninja Larson. I'm back, baby. Let's do it.
Thank you very much, everybody involved here, man. Return of the Ninja. Got Jake from the MMA podcast. Yell the truth. It's action packed, but there are a couple. Basically, we're just gonna talk about the latest shit up on this damn fucking MMA scene here. Let me just bust out the paper here. I got the latest. All right, here we go. Oh, again, if you want to call in, open lines, anything goes. Anything MMA goes. You can talk about whatever the hell you want. Well, honestly, we'll open it up to even if you don't want to talk MMA. If you just got something to say, go ahead and call in live right now. Right fucking now. 512-782-WORD. Again, that's 512-782-9673. Call in or Skype call me. Word on the Street podcast. Add me on that goddamn Skype. Get in this conversation. It doesn't matter.
Shout out to Chris Lowe, C. Lowenstein tweeting in. He's pumped about the return of the Ninja.
Hell yeah, man.
Love you, Lo.
Everybody loves a good comeback story, and the Ninja, someday you're going to have to break yours down for us, man. But good to have you back on the show. Hell yeah.
Thank you, sir.
But here we go. Lead story, which it's actually breaking news. I don't think anybody else has reported this. The guy that shouted, and maybe Jake can pull up the clip here. I know it's on the fly here, but the boo guy, the guy that shouted boo during the whole Ronda Rousey post-fight victory speech.
I got it ready to go whenever you want me to play it.
Yes, this guy, before we play it, I just want to say that the news here that I'm reading right now, this is the Las Vegas Daily Planet. It's saying the boo guy is dead. He was found dead. His real name was apparently Roberto Heathcliff. He was he was found dead in an apparent suicide at the Vegas Tangiers Hotel. Cause of death is ruled autoerotic asphyxiation. His body was discovered shortly after the fight, after the booing incident. There was a note taped to his chest that just said "boo." So it was ruled a suicide, and I'm pretty sure it was the Armenians. But that's
I would like to publicly announce that I had nothing to do with this, nor was I there at the time.
Yeah,
Not that I would have the skills to do so.
The word on the street was that it was auto asphyxiation. Autoerotic. Wait. Autoerotic asphyxiation was the cause of death. And so the boo guy is dead, and in his memory we'll play his last words that were recorded and broadcasted live at the Ronda Rousey post-fight victory speech. Whenever you're ready, Jake. The boo guy, may he rest in peace. He's dead.
Excellent victory against a very man coming in here tonight. And what, if anything, surprised you?
I'm sparring this whole camp, and so I just thought as long as I stay consistent to that one spot, it'll eventually work. Person next to you is booing. You want to cheer, then you both want to cheer louder, even louder in here. So thank you for teammates, my family. I love all you guys.
Give us your thoughts on the stoppage.
He was yeah, he got his message out though.
Wow.
Yeah.
Powerful.
I'm pretty sure it was the Armenians though, and I won't name
Makes
names.
sense.
But
I would like to publicly say, don't boo Ronda Rousey, motherfucker. Sorry.
You're damn right. You're gonna end up dead
Continue on.
in your Vegas hotel room. All right.
Ninjas had nothing to do with this.
It's a damn shame, man. The guy was gonna be a classic, but
Yeah.
dead at the age of 43. The boo
I
guy.
was hoping maybe he could come on the podcast,
We tried to get him on, but of course, now it makes sense why he wasn't answering his phone. He was rotting in a closet at the Tangiers Hotel in Vegas.
Damn.
Yeah. Anyway, that was a downer, but moving on. What else we got? Oh, shit. How could I forget? 5 days from now, people. Sunday. You're going to witness it, man. You're going to see this shit. It's the premiere of the Ultimate Fighter Brazil 3. But nobody cares that it's TUF Brazil 3. It's the tough Sonnen versus Silva season. Sonnen versus Vanderlei Silva. It's going down Sunday night, people. 5 fucking days only on the UFC Fight Pass. We'll get into the Fight Pass a little bit here in a second, but basically you're only going to be able to, unless you live in Brazil and you have the Globo network, you're only going to be able to see this shit on the UFC Fight Pass. Get yours today. $9.99 a month. All right, I know you got to bust some heads, you got to make some scratch maybe just to pay that one off, but it's worth every damn penny. For instance, this upcoming fight card on Saturday, again, second week in a row, only available on Fight Pass. Gustafsson versus Mapumbu or whoever they got him up against. Who's he fighting? Oh, Manoa. Yeah, whatever. But
Mapumbu was close. I believe that. I believe Manoa is a derivative from Mapumbo. So just clear that up.
I just honestly couldn't come up with the name quick enough. I'm sorry. Apologies. But yeah, TUF Brazil 3, Sonnen versus Silva, the premiere. It's going down. Team Sonnen makes their return. They did, in case you didn't keep score, they did whoop Team Jones's ass overall in winning fights. That's just how it went. They made their comeback, Team Sonnen. I did try to get the living legend, Coach Jamie Huey, on the show tonight, but I made the mistake of, just basically hitting him up today about it. I should have given him a little bit more time. He's basically, he's been in hiding. There's a Brazilian murder hit squad after him. He had to ditch his cell phone. He's having problems with that cell phone. It's being tracked or some shit. He got rid of it. He smashed it into pieces. He doesn't have no cell phone right now, people, is what he was telling me at least. I don't know. But he's in hiding. He's going to pick up a burner cell phone soon. And we are going to do an exclusive interview with him probably Thursday or Friday. And I'll post that separately or whatever. Coach Jamie Huey is, of course, boxing coach on Team Sonnen. He was there in Brazil. He witnessed everything, man. He was there for the epic Brazilian brawl that you've seen in the previews for TUF. And right now, I'll ask anybody here on the panel here, Ninja Jake or Yao. People saw that preview for the Ultimate Fighter, where basically Vanderlei is acting like a drooling cartoon character. Like he's acting like a supervillain with his taunting of Chael. It seemed realistic, or it seemed unrealistic, actually. It seemed like this guy this Vanderlei can't be serious. This seems like a joke. And people on the internet looked at the preview, and more than a few of them, are saying that it was staged, that it was fake. Of course, if you've been a follower of the show, you would know that we covered the Brazilian brawl after it happened. I know for a fact it was real, was not staged. But of course, when we get Coach Huey on the show, he'll be able to break it down and give us a little bit more information. First, he was an eyewitness. Of course, he was on the scene. It was a brawl in every sense of the word. It was one of those Brazilian people, man. I don't know what the hell the deal is. They like to riot. It was it practically was an onset riot. The rumble, of course, that ended with Chael Sonnen getting sucker punched. I don't know why you would.
I have the
script
clip
that.
if you want me to play it.
You know what? Let's do it so you can hear this cartoon son of a bitch Vander Crap talking his nonsense. He seems like he's just trying to be like a movie, like super villain. But let's play it, people. Let's play the goddamn intro. Available on Fight Pass. Coming at you Sunday,
March 9th, people. Get that shit.
I don't like you. I don't like you. I know you are pretty scared. I don't want to be your friend. I'm gonna hurt you.
I can't wait.
You're never gonna forget what I'm gonna do with you.
You know when?
I know
When?
No.
Please stop.
TUF Brazil 3, Sonnen versus Silva on Fight Pass. People, get it. It's worth it. You won't regret it. I mean, the only thing you're gonna regret is when the fights are going down on Saturday, and you're not fucking watching them. That's the word on the street. All right. Look, this month alone, you had the fights from last Saturday on Fight Pass only. You got this weekend's card only on Fight Pass, and you have the premiere of the fucking season on Sunday. It's ridiculous. That's well worth $9.99. I'm sorry. This month they're delivering. They'll keep doing the same. You can watch every season of TUF ever aired on Fight Pass right now. You can watch every Chael Sonnen fight there's ever been. I did a search earlier just to make sure. I saw his fight with Yushin Okami. It was awesome. Fuck, man. I've been fucking talking for a long time. Let's go with Jake, man. Do you have your Fight Pass? Are you going to be watching? This Saturday's card is actually going down like in the middle of the day. I think it starts like at noon my time.
Yeah.
Are
yeah,
you going to be watching, man? Are you feeling ripped off or what?
I'm going to be watching the card Saturday on Fight Pass. I'm going to be watching the TUF Brazil 3 season. It kind of sucks for the UFC just that the WWE came out with the WWE Network and honestly sort of took all the wind out of the UFC's sails. I mean, look, they're both good deals, and I'm glad they're both happening, and I'm not at all saying the UFC is a bad deal, but when the WWE, who, I don't really follow wrestling, but for the same price when the WWE is offering literally like way more stuff archived live, like, yeah, that hurts, the whole thing, but no, I'm definitely still going to be watching that shit.
Yeah, the truth, man. I know you're busy, man. You're training, you're fighting half the time. I haven't even asked. Are you signed up with the Fight Pass? Are you going to be watching this card? What's going on over there in Queens?
I do not have Fight Pass. However, I will be getting one very soon.
You know what, Yao? I gotta at least I sponsor you. I'll get you hooked up with the Fight Pass, no problem, man. We'll work that out here a little bit after the show.
Hell yeah, sponsor
benefits. I
benefits.
Take care of my fighters, man. Hell yeah. You
Word
gotta
on
watch
the
these
street.
fights and learn, man. From the best. It's going down. Ninja, man. How's it going over there in your neck of the woods? Are you going to be watching the season of TUF? Are you going to be watching the fights on Saturday? Or are you anti-Fight Pass? I got to ask everybody, man. There's a lot of hate going on about the Fight Pass.
Well, unfortunately, in my new Ninja Cave here in Ninja Land, we do not have internet access right now. I know it's kind of weird. I have it on my phone, but my phone's not good enough to watch Fight Pass or most videos for anyway. But I'm working to change that, trying to ninja my way into finding out how I can get internet and purchasing that Fight Pass, because let's face it, I'm not going to miss Chael Sonnen beat the crap out of Vanderlei Silva, which brings me to a very interesting point. Vanderlei Silva, you piece of trash. See, I've gotten a lot of heat for sticking up for Chael, saying what I saw about that clip that you just played. And I saw an afraid Vanderlei Silva. He was scared to death. He was doing what he does best, pointing his little finger, talking like a freaking ape, and saying all his stuff, and it's not going to work. And I had people actually say, because you can hear it in there, Sonnen say, please stop. Now, a lot of people took that way out of context and are saying that Chael P. Sonnen is afraid of Vanderlei Silva. And if you are listening right now and you think Chael P. Sonnen is afraid of Vanderlei Silva, I have some news for you. See, Chael P. Sonnen isn't afraid of any man, anywhere, at any time. Chael Sonnen asked Vanderlei to stop simply because Vanderlei was getting himself into a giant mess. A mess that he didn't want to do. And Chael took his ass down And that was the end of that. I mean, what could you say? So to say Shale P. Sonnen's afraid of Vanderlei? No. Shale Sonnen did what Shale Sonnen does.
Vintage Ninja.
You're damn right. Uh,
And
yeah.
before we move on, real quick, I just want to say, because there's rumors right now that Vanderlei Silva has not signed the contract. Vanderlei, I know you're listening through a freaking can on the string right now down there in comfy little Brazil in your little cave, but I want you to know you either sign the fight with Shale P. Sonnen or you sign to fight me.
Damn right. Ninjas issued a fucking challenge, man, and that's not something that you take lightly. You hear me, Vanderlei Silva? Vander Crap, as your own people call you. We were the people of the Brazilian Chill Sonnen fan club were nice enough to give us their time. We had an interview with them. They pretty much spelled it out. None of them respect or like Vanderlei, man. It's all a joke to them too. All right. But yeah, so that's going down Sunday. Be sure to watch it. Get your fight pass. Trust me, it's gonna be good. But a lot of people are complaining, like I said, about UFC fights being exclusively on the Fight Pass. For instance, this Saturday's card's got a lot of people riled up since it has a big name on it, Alexander Gustafsson. He's not fighting Mapumbu, he's fighting Manawa. Also on the card, Johnson versus Gallard, Pickett versus, on the UFC.com website, he's one of those blackface guys. His face is blacked out. Pickett versus Blackface, Gunnar Nelson versus Akhmedov. We got the return of Queen Latifah. And of course, Team Sonnen alumnist Luke Barnott is going to fight another blackface, Mats Nilsson. Who the fuck names their kid Mats? It's ridiculous.
Swedish people?
Oh, is that what's going? I don't even know where this fight's going down, actually. Jake, though, I know you know all about this upcoming card. Only going to be available on Fight Pass. Any thoughts on this? Just overall, nothing. Gustafsson, Manawa, Johnson, Gallard, Pickett versus Blackface, Gunnar Nelson versus Akhmedov, Queen Latifah, Luke Bernat. We're not going to break down each of these fights individually, but man, what are you looking forward to? What's interesting to you? To me, this is just going to be. I don't care about any of these fighters. I'm not going to even lie to you people. But Jake, what's your take?
I'm not really excited for the Luke Barnett fight. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. We get to see a lot of people we haven't seen in a little while. Was looking forward to seeing Uncle Creepy, but we're not going to be seeing him, unfortunately. Very much looking forward to Alexander Gustafsson versus Jimmy Manawa. I know, I don't know how what is the word I'm looking for? I don't know how confident I am about the pick. Everybody's talking about Alexander Gustafsson. I think Gustafsson really is an amazing fighter, but Jimmy Manawa is going to step out there and shock the world in London. Also, Michael Johnson versus Melvin Gillard. That's going to be a pretty good lightweight fight between black fighters that Yao likes. Other than that, I'm definitely looking forward to it. It's going to be the highlight of my weekend for sure.
Yao the Truth once said that Melvin Gillard was one of his favorite fighters. Yao, do you still feel the same? And if so or if not, how do you see this fight going versus, Anthony Johnson?
Anthony Johnson.
Michael Johnson, I'm sorry, Yao. I apologize. Pumbu. How do you feel about Johnson versus Gillard?
Yeah, Michael Johnson is. Melvin Gillard is one of my favorite fighters. He's my favorite lightweight. Future champion for sure. I don't like this fight because I'm a huge fan of both fighters, Michael Johnson and Melvin Gillard, but they must fight. I'm not necessarily picking anyone. I wish they could both win, but they can't, obviously. And that's it. Overall, like you said about the whole Fight Pass thing, I don't like that the fights are on Fight Pass, honestly. I'd rather just, get home on a Saturday night and just watch them in my living room or whatever. But UFC, they're going to do what they do. So that's how you got to watch it.
Don't worry, yeah, I got you covered on the Fight Pass, man. That will be my sponsorship to you. And again, we'll work that out. But a lot of people think you're trolling, saying that Melvin Gillard is one of your favorite fighters. Can you actually explain that or justify that at all? I mean,
He's
Melvin
black.
Gillard,
I just
dude?
save you some time.
So are a lot of other fighters, but like Melvin Gillard is like one of the last on my list if I had to pick. Like if someone was like, pick your favorite black fighters, you son of a bitch with a gun in my head. Like Melvin Gillard would probably be the last name.
Would it be a black dude holding the gun to your head?
I know the impression I did implied that, but no, of course not. All right. But yeah, why Melvin Gillard, man? I mean, why? Is there any reason at all? I mean, did you meet him when you were younger? He changed his life or something? Signed like
No.
what did he just get killed by Melvin Gillard?
Melvin Gillard just broke into his house and killed him.
Damn. We lost a Yao, but I think it's obvious that there was no explanation for Melvin Gillard being his.
The word on the street is that.
Can you
Melvin
guys hear me?
Yes, we can. There we go. Yeah, you were saying about Melvin Gillard. Conveniently, your connection died before you could say anything positive about the man. Why Melvin, man?
Just the way he fights. He's a great fighter. He's very explosive, very athletic. I do a lot. I practice and drill a lot of the techniques that he uses. I think they're great for.
We lost him again. What about that fight where Melvin got Crow Cop glancing head kicked by Cowboy Cerrone, and he dropped like a sack of Sarah McMahon? What about that fight? I've always said that fight looks suspicious to me. They were training buddies and good friends, and Melvin Gillard goes down on a fake head kick. I'm sorry, that's what it was, people. I always call it out for what it is on the word in the street, or at least how I interpret it to be in my paranoid mind. I see conspiracies everywhere. I do. I see worked fights everywhere. I see the worst in human beings. I think that's part of it. I assume, they'll murder each other, will kill each other over nothing.
This show
wouldn't
just
we
took
work
a
fights for
really.
something?
This show just took a strange turn.
I'm just saying, if you're willing to murder a man, you're willing to work a fight. Think about that long and hard tonight.
Nice.
I guess. Yeah, I guess if I was willing to kill somebody, I'd work a fight.
Anyway, moving on to the other news. Oh yeah, we were talking about how Luke Barnett is going to fight this weekend. But let's talk about, real quick, another Team Sun and alumnus, a former guest on this show that we've had before. Hopefully we'll have again, UFC fighter Zach Cummings, undefeated, I believe, in the UFC. Zach Cummings, people. This will be a hell of a live read, and I don't know if I have enough saliva in my mouth for it. But Zach Cummings was going to fight in Macau, China last weekend on the card, the UFC card. I don't even remember who's Almina something, I believe. He was going to fight
Alberto Mina.
There we go. And basically, Zach Cummings came in 8 pounds over the weight limit. He did not make weight or even anything or close to it in the fight world. 8 pounds over, weighed in. Alberto Mina, whatever his name was, Bapumbu, he refused the fight. All right, he got show and win money. I don't believe he got any of Zach Cummings' money. Hopefully not. But yeah, that was it. There was no fight. Zach Cummings did not fight. And earlier tonight, actually before we went live, he posted on Facebook his explanation on why he didn't make weight. And
Yo, if you start feeling low on saliva, just pass it off. We can do it Olympic relay style, cocksucker.
Yeah, how about actually, if you could, while I take a puff of smoke and a drink here, just to relax the pipes here. This is a very lengthy post that Zach Cummings just made on Facebook.
Yeah,
His
you've
Facebook
you've
account.
you've been talking a shitload. I don't mind reading the entire thing if you'd like me to.
Please do, Jake. This is Zach Cummings' post on why he did not make weight, posted a couple minutes ago on Facebook.
All right, here we go. Just pulling the post up right now. There it is. Okay, sorry about that. Here we go. This was posted, an hour ago. I'd like to address what happened this past weekend in Macau. I under no circumstances will be making any excuse for not doing what I was supposed to do, which was make weight for my upcoming fight. I'm ashamed, embarrassed, and completely upset with myself. I publicly need to apologize to Alberto Mina, his team and supporters, the UFC, Macau, China, my friends, my gym, my family, and all my supporters. I'm so incredibly sorry to let you all down. My job was to make 171.0 and no less, and I failed my job. I did want to share a few things with everyone. No, these are in no way excuses, just a few facts that might shed some light on the terrible event that happened. I accepted this fight with the month of February to prepare and cut weight. Due to personal events such as taking care of my father until he passed away, and then healing an injury, I was 217 pounds when I accepted the fight. I was just healing up and started back in the gym. I was about to let the UFC know that I'm feeling better and will be ready to go in a couple months, but they contacted me first. The next day, I left for an amazing trip to Singapore, Diego Garcia, and Bahrain to visit the military troops with 4 other fighters. I agreed to go on this trip after my injury, and I knew I wouldn't be fighting soon. I spent 10 days traveling and then 10 days in the gym before leaving for China. In China, I cut every day being there while eating very low amounts. I didn't sleep at all the night before the weigh-ins due to my body beginning to shut down and was in so much discomforting pain. On the day of the weigh-ins, I cut down to 176 pounds, which was 5 pounds over with a few hours left. I thought everything was right on track. I got back into the sauna and hot baths multiple times, and my body just stopped. No more sweat, no more weight was coming off. I just hit an absolute wall. While in my room getting stuff together for weigh-ins, my body started cringing with pain and losing my vision and on the verge of passing out with every movement. I became very concerned for my health and did the ultimate no-no, which is take a few gulps of water. I was the first fighter to see the doctors for medicals, and the doctors saw how bad I was and became very concerned. They knew they had to figure something out quick and could not wait until the official weigh-in because my body needed fluid so badly to function. They weighed me at 177.6, which was 6.5 pounds over my allotted weight of 171. While waiting, my body was shutting down, and I was left on the concrete floor in the worst pain of my life, with my cornermen, UFC personnel, and physicians all surrounding me. They offered Alberto a catch weight to keep the fight scheduled, where his coaches advised him to turn down. In all honesty, even if they accepted the catch weight, I don't think the physicians were going to medically release me. All that I said was that I was 8 pounds over and the fight was canceled. This was true, and I can't deny it. When it was all said and done, I cut 42 pounds and ended up falling short, ending me curled up on a floor with my friends, family, and others concerned about my health. I've had some very hard cuts before which left me in pain, but I've never been legitimately concerned about losing my life. Hindsight is I should have never taken the fight and attempted this craziness, but I did. That makes me responsible for not making the weight. Again, no excuse. I messed up, and I will regret it forever. I'm extremely sorry, but I'll take this, learn from it, and be back stronger. Thank you for standing by me.
Thank you, Jake, for reading that. The words of Zach Cummings, people.
That was a dramatic reading.
That was good, man. Holy shit. Yeah, definitely. Zach Cummings, though, holy shit, 42 pounds that he cut. It still was 8 pounds over, man. So basically, what is that? I guess technically he had to cut 50 fucking pounds. And of course he didn't do it. He is a big guy, man, I gotta say. The fact that he's even attempting to cut down to 170 is a miracle in and of itself. Uh, and I totally forgot that that's right. His father had passed away
Yeah, he
recently.
he actually fought at middleweight. If anyone remembers on that Tough 17 show, he's dropped down sort of like Kelvin has from 85 to 70.
Yep, but yeah, if you've ever he's actually a lot larger than Kelvin. This is definitely a drastic weight cut. Kelvin's new commercial is badass, by the way. If you guys haven't seen that yet, um, I think we'll eventually play it on the show. But it just dropped. It's on YouTube. Kelvin did a local TV commercial for something about don't squeeze the juice or something, but it has nothing to do with Vitor or TRT or anything. It's like a shake or something. I don't know. I'll share it with you guys a little bit later. But yeah, Zach Cummings, man, thanks for reading that, Jake, man. What the hell do you think? Should he get another shot? Should he move back up to 185? Do you think this is cut worthy? I mean, like, honestly, I don't. This is what I'm saying. We got to save this man. He's got to get another shot. But what do you guys think? Jake.
Pass it off to Yao and Ninja first, because like you did while I was reading that shit, I'm
Yeah,
about
man.
to take a
Started
puff,
to
my
dry
friends.
up. I hear you, man. Yeah, talking for any length of time. I don't really do it too often. I do it for the show. And maybe if I'm somehow dragged into a conversation with a family member, I'll say more than 10 words. But yeah, you've actually had to cut weight a few times in the past year competing. I know that for a fact. What's the most dramatic weight cut you've ever made? Have you ever felt any pains from it, or are you're basically only chopping off a little bit? What can you tell us about weight cutting, man? Like the word on the street.
It's definitely not fun, but I've never like cut. The most I've ever cut so far is 12 pounds, and that's it's difficult, but it's nothing compared to what the professionals cut. They're cutting anywhere from like 25 to 35 pounds. So 12 pounds for me
12 pounds is
is
pretty serious, man. Like how long was that cut, if you can even remember? Like, how did you what kind of method did you go with? I know you're constantly dieting too. Was that all it was? Just a diet until you got there, or did you actually like get into a damn sauna and then have them shock you with cattle prods? Or I don't even know how it's done, man.
no, like I diet. Well, I'm always like eating clean, but I waterlog also, which is like fill up on a lot of water until about like 3 days before the weigh-ins, and your body gets so used to having all that water, and then you just stop drinking it like 3 days out, and it all just comes out. So that kind of helps a lot. I've used the sauna a couple times. It feels good, and you're able to cut some weight at the same time. So I do that as well, but again, it's only like 8 to 12 pounds that I'm cutting per like tournament or fight.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering about when Zach was posting. He said something about he did the ultimate no-no and drank a few drops of water. Um, is that what basically you're saying? He was probably doing the water logging method and just went cold turkey on water?
No, when he says that, I think he meant he drank before the weigh-ins, and that's like you don't want to do that because you're only like taking steps backwards. Like you cut the weight and then you're just putting it back on right before the weigh-ins. It's stupid. So it's like you get down, say you get down to 170, and then you're on your way to the weigh-ins, and then you drink water. Like, you just want to wait until you get on that scale or get off and then drink it back on.
God damn. Ninja, man, I don't know if you were on the show with us when we did interview Zach Cummings on YouTube. Just search Word in the Street, Zach Cummings. Z-A-K. Not that he ain't no Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell. He doesn't spell it with an H. Just Z-A-K, man. The way it should be. Just Zach, dude. Caveman style. Ninja, though. What do you think, man? Zach Cummings didn't make weight, but should he get another shot? He is, you know, He's a Team Darkside member.
First of all, I mean, everybody knows that I'm non-partial to people, and I'm totally non-partisan. But he is a Team Darkside member, and so of course he should get a second shot. Shit happens in life. I mean, we all know that. His father passed away. There's tons of excuses you can give, tons of excuses he can make. Um, yeah, I think he should get another shot. Unfortunately, I think the UFC is in a position right now that they need to make examples. So I hope the best for Zach. Having that said, for anybody else to miss weight like that, that's just insanely ridiculous. It's okay because for Zach, and I know it's being a little one-sided and being a little favoritism, but he is Team Darkside, he is Team Sunin, so I'm a ninja, I can do that. But anybody else, it's unacceptable. I mean, that's a huge, huge weight cut. I mean, this is UFC. This isn't, some local flea market putting on fights. I mean, you're a professional, you're a business. That's part of your job is to cut that weight, make better decisions. Uh, I think he should have personally stayed at 185. I mean, he's a big guy. I can imagine. I couldn't even imagine. I've cut weight like once before for a fight, and I didn't really cut that much. But I mean, going from 217 down to 170.
Yeah, he says it was nearly 50 pounds that he was cutting, and he actually says he cut 42.
That's a little ridiculous. I mean, if I, working in the medical profession that I have, I'd like to see some sort of regulation on how much weight you can cut. Seriously, I mean, that's a little bit ridiculous. Cutting down to 185, I can see, but all the way down to 170, I mean, how far is the UFC going to let somebody go? I mean, are they going to let them go down to 155? I mean, like, seriously, even if somebody could make that cut, are you still going to let that guy make that cut? I mean,
yeah,
there's got to be some limit.
That's a hard thing to even think about, like a legitimate way of testing for and regulating, like, because some people have and can do extreme weight cuts, and other people well, shit.
But that's just insane.
Zach, man,
I mean,
he has no business being 50 pounds over and then saying yes to a fight. But he is taking.
Let's put it in the other perspective, not to cut you off. Sorry about that. But let's put it in another perspective. I mean, he's going to fight somebody at 170. I mean, I don't know. I don't have the slightest of fucks who this guy he was going to fight is.
Mapumbu, dude.
Mapumbu.
Might as well have been Mapumbu, man.
What this guy walks around at, but if Zach cut that weight and then got back up to 217 and fought a guy that was, maybe could get back up to 180 if he's lucky, I mean, that's... Zach Cummings is a big dude, and that's, I mean, I'm all for watching a giant heavyweight kind of guy beat the crap out of a little 170 guy. I mean, that's cool with me, but being a professional, that's a little harsh to me.
Yeah, man. It's just rough, man. He says he was almost near 220, before he accepted the fight, man. Holy shit, man. This guy I think 185 is the weight class for Zach Cummings. Let's rally for Zach Cummings at 185, people. Hopefully he gets another shot, basically. But I did mention Mapumbu. Other news here, we're moving on. The MMA newspaper, which exists. Mapumbu defeated by Rampage Jackson, Quentin Jampage.
Quentin Jampage Jackson.
That's right, man. God bless him. Bellator 100 and something. He defeated Mapumbu. We do have an actual eyewitness who was there at the fucking fight at the Bellator event himself. Coincidentally, he is Yao the Truth. Yao, man, you saw before we even get into it, you were there, man. Well, get your eyewitness take. You saw Rampage Jackson fight Christian Mapumbu at Bellator 100 and something. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I did see it 7 seconds before all of you guys. So, uh,
Yeah.
I saw it before you, and it was great. It was, the way it started off. Mufumbu wasn't even engaging. He was pretty terrified. You could tell, or maybe he did not want to hurt Rampage. I don't know, but it was a fun fight, a fun work. Uh, Rampage is undefeated in Bellator, 2-0, riding strong. But it was a good fight. Good fight.
When Rampage walked out, like, is he still at least able to like get the crowd going, give you those pre-fight chills? I mean, it's Rampage. I mean, I'll always give him that, man. Does he still have that left, or like were people like snickering or something when he was doing the walkout?
No,
What's it really
absolutely.
like?
The crowd went crazy.
Yeah,
They love that guy.
hell yeah, man.
They
Definitely.
love him.
I would love to see Rampage fight, even if it was an obvious work. There's no doubt about it in my mind. The Rampage versus Mapumbo fight at Bellator 100 and something. That it was textbook. It was the most blatantly obvious one that I've seen in a while. The fight was a work, people. There is no doubt about it in my mind. I saw it, man. The fight was a work, people. Even Yahoo was there in person. I mean, there was something fishy about it, right? You had that sense something wasn't right. Of course, Mapumbu falls at Rampage's feet and is then summarily knocked out. I even think he faked the eye roll into the back of his head for that knockout, but it doesn't matter if he was really KO'd or not. It doesn't matter. Uh, the fact was he did not engage Rampage. He did not try to hurt Rampage at any point. Any significant strike that he threw, can you name it? No, there was none. All right, he did his job. He fell at Rampage's feet and let himself get knocked out. And then Rampage, of course, had to humiliate him. But I guess if you don't even speak the language, which Mapumbu doesn't, what do you care what the hell shit talk is he's saying? Yeah, I don't understand you. Whatever. All I know is I'm taking a lot of your money right now. God bless Mapumbu. He took a beating at the hands of a has-been, I have to say. But, Jake and Ninja, you also witnessed the fight. Rampage Jackson defeating Mapumbu at Bellator 100 and something. What'd you guys think? Ninja, yeah, I'll get your take first, man. Nothing against Rampage, really. I'm sure he's a nice guy. He's a cool guy or whatever. Except if you're not cool with him. I respect the man, what he did. He's had some great epic fights, but these fights were obvious works, and this is embarrassing. You saw the King Mo scuffle after the fight. Well, I don't know. Did you even watch this piece of I was gonna say a piece of work, but it was a work. It was a piece of work. Ninja.
Honestly, I did not watch the fight. I missed that. I did see the awesomeness that ensued after the fight, actually. And I want to start off my thoughts with pointing out that both King Mo and Quentin Rampage Jackson were in fact under TNA wrestling contracts, and maybe
Holy
still
shit.
are. I don't know.
The acid is kicking in.
That should probably tell you everything you need to know. That should tell you everything you need to know about what happened after the fight. I've watched wrestling, been around wrestling, was training to be a professional wrestler. I know how to cut promos, obviously. I'm pretty good at that, I think. And holy crap, if you wrote down a script and these two sons of bitches remembered it to a T, that's exactly what they did. This was such a WWE. I don't even want to say it's WWE because they do a little bit better than this.
It was embarrassing.
This looks like a TNA written, hey, let's try to build some heat for a company that really doesn't matter that much and see what we can do.
Jake, man, from the MMA podcast, people, by the way, if I haven't mentioned that enough. Jake, Rampage defeating Mapumbu at Bellator 100 something, man. What did you think? Was it a work? Did you buy it? Is Rampage really back and undefeated somehow in a new organization? And the King Mo fight is just conveniently set up. Um, what about the post-fight scuffle? What did you even watch this piece of shit? And if so, continue.
Yeah, it was a work and it wasn't a work. It was a work in the fact that Bellator knew that Christian Mapumbu had nothing on Rampage. Jackson didn't belong in the ring with him. Hadn't won in, I think, 3 years. So, I know a little while back you had said, yeah, there's three kinds of works. There's the kind of work where it's a scripted fight. There's the kind of work where one guy doesn't know about it. And there's the kind of work where it's just scheduled so that one fighter doesn't have a chance to win, a la Patrick Cummins, Daniel Cormier. This was along the lines of the third one. I think in the Lawal and the Jackson fight. And Zayat still even came back and was doing a little bit of work against Lawal. But as far as the fights, yeah, in a way, I guess they were worked because there was really no chance for Zayat and Mapumbu. As far as the post-fight fracas, brawl, whatever you want to call it, I was telling you before the show, I'm the last person in the world who is gonna say shit like it was a work, this was a work, blah 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 blah. That post-fight, whatever the fuck you want to call it, that was the most obviously worked thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, man. It was pretty goddamn phony, man. It was embarrassing. But I was laughing my ass off. That's what I love about it, man. I love a good work. And I like the more WWE, like the better sometimes, especially when it's a fight I don't care about. I mean, that was the only way I was going to care about.
Someone isn't muted
Rampage.
up, by the way. Mute up,
Yeah, someone.
cocksuckers.
Yeah, I am hearing a little echo. But yeah, the Rampage Mapumbo fight, I would not remember it if it had not been such an obvious, like, entertaining fight to watch. It was work. Like otherwise, it would have been nothing. They did 1 million views on that fight on that Bellator. Congratulations.
What's the other thing? There's nothing wrong with, Mapumbu. There's nothing wrong with doing that to make a living.
No kidding, man.
Like, I'm sure he got slipped a nice envelope,
Yeah, he did his job, man. I mean, he at no point, I don't believe he ever took a real swing at Rampage. Like, I don't remember seeing that happen. Rampage was even like, like taunting him, like trying to pretend like he was puzzled as to why he was not being attacked.
Yes.
He was
But
like, "What's
you
going
did
on?"
say they probably don't even tell Rampage.
That's what I was like afraid of. Like when I saw him like punch Mapumbu in the face, like after, and then like he did the eye roll or whatever, which I'm sorry can be faked. You can, I mean, it's possible that you can even fake an eye roll, but it doesn't matter. He was probably knocked
Just
out
look
for
at the
real.
intake. He's mastered that.
Yeah, I mean, shit. How hard is it to, you're already going down on a fake dive. You're gonna try to sell it. But yeah, it doesn't matter. He might have been knocked out for real, but yeah, that when Rampage was celebrating in his face right afterwards, like WWE style basically, except like I was like, oh shit, man, like I think Rampage thinks this is real. Like, what if Rampage doesn't know? What if they're not telling him that these are set up fights, man? What if he doesn't know? And that's I hope he doesn't. Just because that would make the situation more hilarious to me personally. But at the same time, he's got to know, man.
You're forgetting that this is a former Pride, like, super duper champion.
Yep,
and he definitely knows what a work is or not.
That's why he feels more at home at Bellator, and he said he wouldn't come back to the UFC for $10 million because, shit, he's got to get his ass whooped in the UFC for real.
But I do want to say, for all the naysayers that thinks Rams is just crazy with his works and all his stuff. I mean, if you look at the scrum at the end, I mean, seriously, I've had people tell me that, oh, that's legit. I mean, okay, if you want to believe that, just like, I just watched, the Royal Rumble on pay-per-view, Yeah, I can believe that too, but you got to look at these are professional fighters. They know how to fight. And to yell at each other and then kind of half-ass push each other and not really throw a punch or I mean, come on, they're not really fighting. These are two trained fighters. So that is totally scripted. The whole thing is just a joke.
That might be the case, but yeah, again, you were there. You saw this shit go down, dude. The Rampage thing. Weren't you also there with Mr. Ross Finkelstein? Did you get to meet up with him there?
I was. We traveled together.
Well, yeah, weren't you guys? I mean, okay, so you watch Rampage. Mapumbu falls down at his feet and is then knocked out without any struggle whatsoever. Did you guys look at each other and laugh, or like, were you guys like in tears behind the whole thing? Were you swept up in the emotion, man? I'm trying to get a feel here, man.
I was on the edge of my seat the entire time because I knew what was going to happen.
That's right.
You tweeted out the word in the street earlier in the day. I don't know if you remembered. I asked you your take on the fight around 12 p.m.
Yeah.
And that day, Friday, 12 p.m. And they didn't fight till, 11 p.m. that night?
That's right.
So I already knew. I'm on the edge of my seat waiting. Rampage is putting his hands up like, come on, homie. And they start fighting. He gets knocked out. I start laughing. I go on Twitter. I'm laughing. I look at Ross. He's not laughing. He thinks it's stupid, of course. And I'm like, I told you. And then I say, word on the street. And then he just looks away.
That's right, dude. Yeah, I do remember. I did call that Mapumbu would not engage Rampage or try to hurt him.
Yeah,
yeah,
100% of work.
he just wasn't going to try to hurt Rampage. They were also going to be worried about just with Rampage, like Bellator sitting there sweating, like because they don't want him to hurt himself accidentally when he's out there for the what 4 minutes. Both of his Bellator fights have ended round 1, I believe.
Yep.
Which why couldn't he do that in the UFC?
2-0.
Oh yeah, 2-0 undefeated Bellator fighter Rampage Jackson, also probably their highest paid fighter and their most expensive asset, miraculously undefeated.
You are aware that they've fed him bums, right? Like
that's what I'm saying, man. At the very least, that's the case. But I'm saying these are full works. I'm saying they're paying these bums specifically not to hurt Rampage, all right, and get themselves knocked out on some fake ass shit. It's money, man. It's it's a lot of money fighting a Rampage fight. A million people saw that. Pumbu, I didn't know who he was last week. Now I know he's the dude that Rampage Jackson whooped his ass on fake Bellator.
Seriously,
that's worth something.
I mean, I'm not a professional fighter by any means, but if you don't know to kick Rampage in the frickin' knees, then you shouldn't be a professional fighter either.
And Rampage was bitching about that.
If I met Rampage like at a bar and Rampage is like, I'm gonna kick your ass, I would kick him as hard as I fucking can in the kneecaps. And I'll probably take him down. Seriously.
Yep, that is a valid it's a street maneuver, street fighting technique, which
but then again, I'm the ninja, so it goes without saying.
Yeah, that technique is solid. I will be covering it. It will be part of tomorrow's fight tip on the MMA podcast, on Twitter. Tomorrow I'll be giving my fight tip as I try to make it usual as possible. What's going down tomorrow? It is going to be Ray Longo's how to punch a hole in someone's fucking chest, but the setup for that is kneecapping someone. It's good technique. I'll go into that. It's a setup, before you actually. You guys ever watch that first Indiana Jones movie where the dude like rips out the guy's heart or whatever in that ceremony? right before they go in the go-kart or whatever.
Moombaso or
That's
whatever he
right,
says.
man.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. Yeah, why not? I'll show you guys on the MMA podcast tomorrow. How's that for a teaser? How to rip a man's heart straight out of his chest,
Hell yeah.
or at
Nice.
least punch a hole straight through it. Trust me. Just tune in, people. How's that for a promo, man? Beat that Vanderlei. Also,
You ape looking pointer fingin' fuck.
that's right. I don't know if
Sorry,
anybody saw
just had to add that in.
the extended video where it looks like Chael actually pushes Vanderlei first, but that's just to create distance. The guy was in his face, and I think he spit on him or something. Don't know how many of you caught that, but yes, Vanderlei spit at Chael Sonnen. That's a pussy move.
There's one thing you don't do to Shale P. Sonnen, and that is get in his face. If you get in within 3 or 4 feet of Shale P. Sonnen, you might take yourself down.
You're damn right. I don't blame him for taking that motherfucker apart after like what kind of a pussy spits on another man? That's a bitch. That's a bitch move. That's worse than the slap he went for right before he
Yeah.
got double legged, man. Spitting on someone. That actually is assault, at least in this country. It's cowardly. I would never do it. It's just like a little kid reaction almost. And on top of that, it's disgusting. Disgusting. Speaking of one of the last topics of the night, people, the rape of Vitor Belfort. While we're on the topic of disgusting, what they did to this man, they scapegoated him to hell, man. This is the worst scapegoating of any human being I've possibly ever seen in the mass media. And it was only on the MMA media. The Nevada State Athletic Commission, just, out of nowhere, it's kind of surprised. No one saw it coming, or at least it wasn't leaked. They just banned TRT outright. Even, applying for an exemption or, it was a murky law at first, at best. No one really understood it. But, the NSAC, the Athletic Commission, decided to just ban it outright. They are probably the biggest athletic commission in the country, at least as far as my knowledge goes. And, of course, other commissions are following suit. The UFC claims they are following suit, that they are also just straight up outlawing the testosterone replacement therapy in their fighters. Came out of nowhere, like I said, but of course, the media, they can't just report that. That's not good enough, even though it was the number one topic they would always bitch to Lorenzo and Dana White about. Complaining about it. Specifically only in the UFC, you noticed. Always complaining about the testosterone replacement therapy. I was cheating. TRT, this and that. The scapegoat, of course, Vitor Belfort, even though there are other well-known fighters, great fighters, good people, also taking the same thing. Dan Anderson, Chilson, and people that actually needed it. I mean, you're not getting any younger. I believe him. I mean, whatever. I also believe Vitor when he said that basically almost everybody was on it. Let's get everybody's reaction here. The banning of TRT, where I was going with this, is that basically Vitor Belfort, even though I don't like him, never have. I still have to recognize what is fair, what is not. He is being made the scapegoat of the TRT scandal, if you will. He's the sacrificial lamb. They probably almost got rid of him, but he's still with the UFC. But people are calling for him to be fired. They just want to see him totally destroyed for some damn reason. Like that's gonna put a nail in the coffin. Even though they changed the rules, and Vitor is complying. He even dropped out of his title fight. Forced out, of course. But you know what I'm saying? He said, all right, I'll play by your rules. I'll drop out of the fight. You win. So, I mean, you can't really, there's no grounds to really fire him at this point, at least not that I know. But I'm asking you people, Jake, man, Vitor, dude, do you think he deserves what he's getting, or is he just a media target? And like I've been saying, there's no other word for it. They created the word specifically to describe Vitor. He is a scapegoat. What's your take, though?
Vitor isn't a scapegoat, and this is really going to be the true word on the street, people. Vitor took a drug test about, I want to say, a month ago during the World MMA Awards when he was flown into Las Vegas. What Vitor did not know was that this was a voluntary drug test. I think they framed it so Vitor would think it would be an involuntary test. Maybe he knew it was a voluntary test and was just didn't think he would fail it. I don't know. But Vitor, although he had signed up to fight Chris Weidman at UFC 173, he was not yet licensed in the state of Nevada to fight. Therefore, there's no way you can mandatorily drug test someone unless Vitor agreed to it in the terms of the contract. Fast forward a few weeks.
You're almost there.
Fast forward to a few weeks, just a few days ago, when the NSAC banned TRT, and the next day Belfort pulls out of the fight. The day Vitor Belfort pulled out of the fight, that was the same day his test results were supposed to be leaked. The UFC is definitely taking part in making sure that people don't know about the failed test. But the fact that the night he pulled out of the fight, first it was I've decided to pull out of the fight and I can't adjust, even though people the reason given was Vitor couldn't like drop his levels or something in time. Dude, it doesn't even take a week to drop your levels down to normal. You have 3 months or two and a half months until the fight. What happened was Vitor failed the test, and in order for people not to know, they just took out Belfort, put in Machida. He might get another title shot. In my opinion, he's lucky. Apparently, what I'm hearing, the word on the street, the night where the UFC made the announcement that it was going to be Lyoto Machida and Chris Weidman, you remember all of us were staying up super late. It was like a 1 a.m. announcement on Fox Sports, and they announced it. And then Chael Sonnen came on air and said something. Normally, you would have seen Dana White. The word on the street was the reason Dana White was not making the announcement was he was way too pissed off. He wanted Vitor kicked out of the UFC. He wanted Lorenzo, luckily, is the boss of the UFC. You might think it's Dana, but Lorenzo owns 40%, and Dana owns like 10%. Yeah. Lorenzo's the boss. Lorenzo knows there's a lot of money in the name of Vitor Belfort to be made, so he made the smart business choice and didn't let Dana act on emotion and cut Vitor. But word on the street, that's how everything went down. I can't call Vitor a scapegoat, even though he kind of is. Like, he is and he isn't, because he did bring it on himself, but at the same time, by no means is he the only fighter in the UFC who abuses TRT, yet he became the poster child of it, sort of like Barry Bonds with steroids in baseball. But, I don't know. I'm very glad that the Nevada State Athletic Commission made the choice they did, because fighters were showing that it was very, very, very easy to abuse testosterone replacement therapy. Very, very easy to get a therapeutic use exemption, even if you don't really need one. So I think the NSAC made a ballsy move, but it's one that's really going to be good for the sport long term.
Holy shit, man. I agree with pretty much everything you said. But you're so close to putting the whole thing together, man. The whole puzzle together, where it all comes into play.
Which is what?
Well, basically, when Vitor stepped off that plane in Vegas a month ago and was tested right like on the damn steps of the goddamn jet itself.
Yeah, Stephan Bonner said he was there. I think it was Bonner. It was either Bonner or Florian. It was one of the on-air talents. but one of them said like it was kind of awkward because like Vitor was chatting with friends and like it was like a social environment, and they're like, "No, we're taking you right now to go test your piss." Like,
Yep.
all right, and we actually do have a couple tweets. You want me to read them on air?
Hell yeah.
Hell, yeah, actually, we missed this about 51 minutes ago. Our boy, Alan, Westland Eagle, AH, follow that man, said about Zach Cummings, pretty sure it'll be nice for him to talk about his Macau experience. Got to get him on the show too soon. The last minute or so, though, our boy Mystery Meds, Mystery Deja, follow him, MYST3RYDEJA, said, I told you guys, the real reason Vitor pulled out of the fight, I pulled a Nancy Kerrigan on him. Hashtag truth. Our boy's taking out these goddamn villains. And our boy Chris Lowe tweeted back in, all the fuss is because of the 2007 failed test. Don't forget Todd Duffy, 23 years old, getting exemptions. Yeah, very true.
Yep. And basically what I was saying about the rape of Vitor Belfort is it is a scapegoating because he was specifically set up to take a fall for something. I mean, that's what that immediate test as soon as he steps off the fucking... Oh, he should have known there was a setup coming right then and there. He did figure it out. That's why he did pull out of the fight before, they had to leak the results, actually release them, and before that shit came down. It's basically like when Nixon quit, before he was impeached, before they could fire his ass, before he had to answer questions. He just said, I resign. And he took off in that helicopter and just left, man. I'll never forget that day. I wasn't alive back then. The rape of Vitor Belfort, though, I was
What
alive
a really
for.
sad and dark, reminiscent moment that just was. Sorry, I had to point that out.
It's a sad moment, man, watching the United States president have to be forced out by the media in shame over some bullshit that didn't even matter. Politics, people. That's what this is. The rape of Vitor Belfort. Politics, man. The guy was set up in Vegas, stepping off the goddamn plane. They were waiting with a damn piss cup, man. How pissed off would you be if you went to Vegas and the first thing they tried to do was just make you piss into a cup, man? It's bullshit. They took away his title shot. He's paying the price. He says he's coming off the goddamn juice, man. They're squeezing the juice and he's getting off of it. That's gonna flatten him out, people. He's gonna balloon up and flatten out at the same time. It's actually hard to understand, but trust me, you're gonna see it. He won't be able to give us the exciting fights that he was anymore at his age, and why? Because we won't allow medical advances to be applied in the octagon, as far as I'm concerned. I'm saying let the juice loose. Fuck that, man. Let him do what he's got to do. The dude is old, all right? He's not it's not like he's 23 like Chris Lowe was saying about Todd Duffy. 23 years old. Getting,
so people should be able to take steroids once they turn 30? Like, what?
Actually, I have a radical view. I think that it should all be legal in MMA. Because honestly, they're all doing it anyway. It's just a matter of who's gonna get caught. Like for instance, I mean, why Vitor? Like, why is the focus on Vitor? Why did every article when they banned the TRT, the picture that they were leading with? Guess who it was? It was him. It was Belfort, man.
Well, to be totally honest, like, I don't think that the MMA media or the UFC or anyone said, all right, let's look at all the list of the fighters in the UFC. Okay, I'm going to pick one. Vitor. Vitor is going to be our scapegoat. Vitor sort of, I mean, I'm saying he brought it on himself. I'm not saying that in a negative way, because he brought it on himself with amazing performances, but at the same time, no one has flipped a switch like that in modern MMA late in their career. And it's not just the performances, because, like I think I said someone saw, TRT, that did not give him his knockout win against Rockhold, Rockhold, Bisbing, or Dan Henderson. You could put the most steroided out, juiced out freak across the cage from an MMA fighter. The MMA fighter is going to win because of skill. Vitor won those fights because of skill. Did TRT help? Of course. But the fact that not only his performance has changed, but his body changed too. I mean, look at a picture of him from 4 years ago. I think Chris was showing me the fight against, was it Thiago Tavares at like Bodog fight or something. I don't know, but you look at the body that he had years ago, and it's he wasn't out of shape. He wasn't rocking a Nelson gut or or anything, but he had a certain body shape, and now it looks nothing like the body shape he had. So I think he sort of brought it on himself in the tremendous change that he showed late in his career.
Yell the truth, man. I think you're a Vitor Belfort fan, actually. He, of course, was obviously on the juice. He was, he was, in his mind, playing by the rules, submitting every test that he was. We don't have the results, all right, people? So this is all speculation that he actually failed the test, but he probably did. I mean, come on. He was juicing. But, yeah, man, I know... Actually, I might have it wrong. You are a Vitor fan, right? So what's your take on the way they're raping him, man? Is he a scapegoat or does he deserve this? They took that title fight right out from under him. What's your take, man? All right.
Speechless.
Not hearing yeah. Yeah.
That's an interesting view.
Yeah, might be dead. Ninja, what's your take, man? Vitor Belfort, is he a scapegoat or does he deserve this? Was he a cheat in your mind? What's your take?
First of all, I would like to say, God bless my state of Nevada. I am proud to be a resident. As far as Vitor goes, I don't know if he was like Jake was saying. Nobody looked at a list of names and said Vitor. Unfortunately, I think it was a case of he was at the wrong place at the wrong time, and now he's the Alex Rodriguez or the freaking that stupid steroid and bicyclist dude.
Lance Armstrong.
Lance Armstrong. Unfortunately, he's going to be looked at. He's going to be the one everybody's going to look at and come to, and he's got the problems just like A-Rod, just like Lance Armstrong. Personally, the word on the street is I do live in Nevada. That's where Ninja Land currently resides. And the Ninja Board of Directors got together and said, we don't want TRT in this sport anymore, or at least in the UFC. So a group of our ninjas went down, talked to the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Now there's no TRT. And I know there's a lot of you obvious pointing out motherfuckers that say, well, Shale Sonnen does TRT. Yes, that's true. Poor Shale does TRT. But now we get to see fighters be themselves. Now we get to see fighters, and that's what we ninjas want. That's what I want to see. I want to see fighters go in there as men with their own technical skills, with their own abilities, not any pills, not any drugs, not any hormones or any of that crap. I want to see fighters go in there and use their skills to beat each other. I look at it like somebody like Yao. Yao is the future. I believe in Yao. Yao is going to be a UFC champion someday. But as of right now, Yao has to get there just solely on technique and skill. So where does that line begin for poor Yao? Eventually, Yao would run into, just on technique, hard work, and skill, somebody that was allowed to use TRT. Now that gives that somebody advantage over my boy Yao. And I don't think that's fair. Put Yao in there and match him up skill to skill, technique to technique, see who's the better man, the better warrior, and have an honest fight. That's how it should be. And God bless my great state of Nevada because they made it that way.
Hell yeah, Ninja. Even with the auto tune moment there for a second, it was badass. Um, the rape of Vitor Belfort, though, as far as I'm concerned, this poor guy, like it's all falling on his head. Like they want to see him fired. This bullshit MMA media, just to know they could do it to somebody, just to feel like they have power, influence.
And and I do want to say, while our good friend Ross Finkelstein is not on the call, that I've got Machida by front kick, new champ.
Oh
Well,
shit!
that's the problem. That was what I was going to bring up before we signed off here. They are taking his place. Fighting Chris Weidman for the title is going to be Lyoto Machida. And you were just calling Ninja a front kick, but guess what? I saw Machida versus Musashi. One of my Probably one of my favorite fights of this year. Honestly, they were battering each other. They were broken. But yeah, man, the front kick ain't gonna happen. Machida's foot, in my opinion, I believe it. It was broken. I saw that shit happen. Um, I have to say that
Machida doesn't need feet to kick you. Machida will use the stubs that are on the bottoms of his knees to kick your fucking face off.
this guy got fucked up,
Machida
man. He got
Machida is
fucked up.
gonna he I gotta admit that was a great fight. People were like, it's boring, blah blah blah. Screw you guys. Machida went out there, put on a technical performance, it was an art. It was a fucking painting. Machida went out there and sculpted this freaking match the way he planned, and he's gonna do the same thing against Chris Weidman. I hope,
It was great, man.
I sincerely hope that Machida does win. I give all the credit in the world to Weidman. He's a great fighter, but let's see what Machida can do. You got to put your hands on somebody before you can beat him, and I'm not sure Chris Weidman can do that.
Yeah,
Sorry,
man.
Ross.
Yeah, Leota gave us all, man, and in my opinion, it was a little too much. It's too soon for him to be taking a title fight with Weidman. That's also part of another. I think that's a little bit of a setup for Weidman here. The fact that they conveniently dust Belfort away from the picture. Now it's Machida, who I believe is recovering from a fractured foot. All right, I saw that shit, man. It blew up like a balloon right after the fight. There is
Are you
no
telling
way.
me? Are you telling me you think that Vitor Belfort would have put up a bigger fight than Lyoto Machida?
He was more dangerous opponent and threat to Weidman at that point. Yeah, because I believe that Machida broke his foot, man. I think he broke his
No.
foot, and I think Weidman, because of that, you ain't gonna see these kicks from Machida like not full force against Weidman, dude.
Machida's got another foot. He's gonna use that one.
Yeah, I've never seen
That's
that
all he
before.
needs.
But basically, it's obvious. This is it's a layup at this point because of Machida's injury, I believe. No one else has his take, but Weidman's gonna run through him like he was a fucking prime Hulk Hogan, dude. Weidman is gonna run through Machida.
I
All
do
right,
gotta say,
his foot's
if
out of
Machida
commission.
if Machida breaks his leg or somehow gets injured by kicking frickin' Weidman, I'm gonna be really pissed off. And I will 100% agree with you that this is a work.
Jake Machida versus Weidman, dude. It's obvious they got rid of Belfort. He was the biggest threat to Weidman's belt, honestly, in my opinion. Especially on the TRT, like it was gonna be some serious shit going down. But now he's facing Machida, who I believe is coming off of a broken foot. And honestly, he just fought in Machida land. This is like he's fighting the next day. All right, he's used to taking a year off almost, just asking for more money. Now he's facing Weidman soon. What do you think's gonna happen, man? Does he stand a chance? Do you think his foot's all right, magically healed? Like, come on, someone else had to see this.
Yeah, I still have Weidman. I do agree with you. I thought Belfort was a little bit more of an opponent. Not to discredit Machida at all. I think he's easily one of the top middleweights in the world. But Belfort, especially when he had that testosterone exemption, he was a motherfucker. I have Weidman either way. Was there something else you were asking?
Uh, No, that's pretty much it, man. Just
You know,
so you got
it's super tough. It's my two favorite middleweights. One of my favorite people, Weidman, taking on my favorite Brazilian fighter, Machida. But I got Weidman in this one.
Yep, definitely Weidman all the way. He's basically with what I believe to be Machida's bum leg. He's fighting
You
Mapumbo.
guys are fucking insane.
It's Lyoto
Machida-
Mapumbo, dude.
It's not Lyoto Mapumbo. Lyoto Machida is way better than Anderson Silva at getting the fuck out of the way. That was Anderson Silva's downfall in their first fight. Lyoto Machida is head and shoulders better than that, and throwing kicks to the face, not the knee. Machida all the way.
All right, well that's one. But people, we could sit here arguing all night about who's going to win this fight and that. You're only going to find out if you have the Fight Pass. I don't even know, or buy it on pay-per-view. That's right, people. UFC forever. Actually, I want to bring up what Davey Boy has been trying to tell us here on the Twitters here, chiming in. Davey Boy actually is getting to be a frequent on the micer on the MMA podcast. That's Dave I_BOI on Twitter. Davey, though, he was saying that basically the UFC, what was he saying? That it's totally banned TRT in the UFC. I'm trying to read up on this back and forth. But God damn it, what I'm trying to say is that Davey Boy is a good guy. That's all that matters. That's all you need to know. I'll retweet some of his stuff here. I would like to thank everybody for tuning into the Word of the Street podcast tonight. Again, we are going to get Team Sundance coach Jamie the Living Legend Huey on soon to hype up the upcoming premiere episode of The Ultimate Fighter Brazil. Oh yes, and that there is one more thing that I actually wanted to play before we sign off here. But before we get on to the disaster that was Ariel, Hawaii, starting the fire. Actually, we have a call. I think we should take it, guys. What do you guys think? Let's do it.
Let's take it. It's the word on the street.
Right. Let's do it. Fuck it.
Enter there.
Caller, you are on live right now on the Word on the Street podcast with Jake, the Ninja, and I don't know if Yao's still there, man. Honestly, I don't know. He might be dead. Who is this? You don't have to.
I know
say your
exactly
real
where
name.
I am, and let me tell you something. May 6, 2014, I make my return to the Word on the Street podcast. Why? Because I'm going to take you out, Ramsey. You see, I've heard you run your mouth for so long. I've sat on the sidelines, but I haven't been just sitting there. I've been training, I've been preparing, and May 6th, I'm coming for you. Kaboom.
Holy fuck! I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't a little bit intimidated by that, people.
That was legendary.
I mean, I'm holding my hand up to my face right now, and it is not quivering, but it is moving slightly to the left and right. That was none other than, I believe, Ross Finkelstein himself challenging me. Gonna make his comeback soon to the podcast scene, hopefully. We need
Best
him
do
back.
the business.
Yep. If Ninja can come back, Ross can come back, man. This is the year of the comeback. 2014, people. And he is coming to challenge me. I understand that. I did issue the challenge to him first. Me versus Ross Finkelstein in an MMA UFC trivia contest for the championship belt of trivia on podcasts.
You have a promo to cut?
A little bit. I just want to say, Ross Finkelstein, if you're out there, I know you are. Obviously, you're listening. You just called in. I accept, of course. Your time's going to come. Your time's going to come soon, in the words of Chael Sonnen. You took away everything I cared about. You pissed in my pool. And then you repossessed my entire house just so you could have the pool, if you know what I'm saying. I won't name names. We all know how deep this rivalry goes. We all know what's at stake here. What the winner is truly going to walk away with. That's right. If we're gonna lay it all on the table, let's do this, Ross. Ross Finkelstein on Twitter. Follow him at Ross Finkelstein on Twitter. We know what's at stake here. The love of a young woman. That's right. I'm putting everything on the table. You know why? Because I'm crazy like that. All right? And I bet you anything I know more about random UFC fights than you. There's only one way to find out, by tuning in on the Word Street podcast here in whatever day he said he was coming back on that I don't really remember. Ross Finkelstein on Twitter, people. Thank you. That will
I actually
Oh,
still have a couple of segments you were talking about before the show.
That's right.
The first of which being that Kelvin Gastelum commercial. You want me to play it?
Oh, you have the local commercial that Kelvin Gastelum filmed for his local business. Who knows if it's friends or not? Don't squeeze the juice, something or other.
Why,
My boy
I certainly
KG.
do. I'll play it right now. Here we go. Squeezed natural smoothies and cafe.
Free advertising on the Word Street. Oh, yeah.
Cutting sandwiches, son. They got deli meats.
Let's go with Gastelum and I squeeze because I'm a champion.
Stay juicy.
I squeeze because it's good for me and it's good for you.
That's right, cocksuckers.
I squeeze to be the best.
1025 West 24th Street, Yuma, Arizona. Cocksuckers.
That's right, man. You got to squeeze the juice, except if you're the UFC and you're scapegoating Vitor Belfort. Don't squeeze the juice in that case. O.J. Simpson shouldn't really be in jail for this latest bullshit, to be honest. We all know what that's all about. They squeeze the juice on that one. Kelvin Gastelum saying squeeze the juice, but at the local establishment, God bless him. One other... what else was the clip? The fucking...
Ariel Helwani.
That's right. That's right. Okay, guys. I listen to Ariel Hawaii's show all the time. I'm not gonna even lie about that. For the same reason, like I listen to Luke Thomas's. Jesus Christ.
Luke Thomas.
Yeah, I get sick thinking about this man sometimes. He is like the prime example of everything wrong with MMA media. But I'll get into that.
I might actually vomit at some point, so bear with me, guys.
No problem, man. It happens to everybody.
Make sure you don't mute up if you do vomit.
Yeah, might as well, man. It's good radio. But yeah, man, Luke Thomas, man. I'll go on about him some other time. But like I said, the MMA media, sometimes you just have to listen. It's like watching a car crash. And yesterday's MMA, what is it called? The MMA Hour with
MMA
Ariel
Hour.
Hawaii. He, you're going to hear it. We're going to play it.
People
You're
actually
so-
listen to this guy for an hour?
Like
this
3
show was
hours.
4
That's
hours long.
super long, man.
Yesterday's show was 4 hours and 16 minutes. Six
Holy
of those
crap.
minutes. 6 of those minutes were actually what we're about to play for you, roughly.
I actually have it fast
we're gonna
forwarded
put
to
6
the point.
great.
He spends
Oh,
like
okay.
2 minutes talking about it, but basically the gist of it, the MMA Hour took 2 weeks off because Ariel had a kid, and whether or not you appreciate his journalistic standards, we all gotta be happy for the guy because he had a little baby boy, and I think it was he and his wife's second kid. So first and foremost, congrats. But they took 2 weeks off, and it was a pretty busy 2 weeks. You had a bunch of cards. You had UFC 170. You had the craziness with Cummins. You had the NSAC. You had Belfort pulling out stuff going on in Bellator and Titan. And Ariel thought it would be a good idea. For some reason, I don't know where he made the connection, but he's like, yeah, I was looking at all the news of the last 2 weeks and just couldn't get the thought of we didn't start the fire out of my head. It's like, don't see the connection there, but whatever. And you know what? Love the guy or hate the guy. it was hard not to be sympathetic to watch this guy know he was making a fool of himself, and I don't know what was worse, his off-key singing or the fact that he was so off-beat. It was oh man, it was like watching a train wreck. I didn't want to watch, but I couldn't look away.
Yeah, just Ninja, you'll understand, man. I don't know what the fuck this was. Well, I'll have my own little parody of this next time on the Word in the Street. I guarantee you. But let's listen to it before we sign off.
Ariel Helwani is nuts.
That strobe effect on your voice is awesome sometimes, man. I gotta say. But yeah, we'll listen to it real quick.
Let the beat drop.
And then we'll have everybody sign off for real. But yep, Ariel Helwani singing out the latest MMA news to the tune of "We Didn't Start the Fire" by Billy Joel, I believe.
And first and foremost, excellent choice on the instrumentals if We Didn't Start the Fire.
Oh,
you definitely want to use the shitty keyboard version that sounds like it was made for Kids Bop rather than the actual version. Oh, this was so horrible, Ariel.
It was perfect.
Why did you do this? It was so perfect. Let's play it.
A lot has happened. We need to tell you what happened. You know about all these things. You probably don't.
He's breaking it down, man.
See what I mean? It's a bit.
You gotta see the hand motions, too. It's like Elaine on Seinfeld.
Premature.
And this was his idea. He didn't lose it better enough.
Test positive for cannabinoids. Yancy Madero's test positive too. Juliana Pena had surgery. Tyler Manuera got cooked for Instagram posts. MMA hours on fire. What? It was always burning since the world's been turning. UFC changes bonus structure. Dana says he paid Machida out of his own pocket. Yes, it's really true. Rashada Evans got hurt. Patrick Cummins replaces Evans. Who the heck is Patrick Cummins? I don't know.
What?
MMA hours on fire. What? It was always burning since the world's been turning. The MMA hours on fire. And it's burning, burning till the world is turning. Dana says Overeem is scared of JDS. Overeem says he's injured. Dana asks reporters for steroid names. Dana says Ronda's the biggest star they've ever had. Melendez agrees to terms with Bellator. UFC has matching rights. UFC announces Tough Line America. Tito steps down as Cyborg manager. Cyborg says she's making 135. I was on fire. Everybody, it was always burning since the world's been turning. The MMA hours on fire. Can't hear ya. It was always burning since the world's been turning. Here we go. Invicta signs 15 fighters. Jacare beats Carmel. Machida beats Musasi. Fedor remarried his ex-wife. Evans out for 6 months. Sarah Hughes, John Twitter, Dan Hardy named new UFC announcer. Ryan Ford, WS West, Canada champion. Cormier beats Cummins very quickly. Rousey beats McMahon somewhat controversially. Gilbert Melendez is back in the UFC. MMA hours on fire. It was always burning since the world has been turning. I'm telling you, there's a lot that happened. So much fun, I'm having a blast. Bartimus retires, ESPN article on TRT. Spider Silva hidden mitts. Nate Diaz asked for release. New Bellator gloves introduced. Nevada banned CRT. Belfort pulls out of UFC 130. Machida replaces Belfort in May. Alvarez Chandler 3 will be on PPV. MMA hours on fire. It was always burning since the world has been turning. The MMA hours on fire. Here we go, last one. Bob Sapp goes nuts to me on Twitter again. Rampage and King Mo win. They have a scuffle, looks kind of fake. Ricci lives up to his promise at Titan FC. Meathead wins at the buzzer. Someone wins Tough China. Dong Young Kim with the KO of the year. That's all that happened in the last 2 weeks. I'm a father again. I took some time off. I'll never do that to you again. I promise, I promise. MMA, I was on fire. It was always burn until the world has been turned. Let's hear it, guys. MMA, I was on fire. And we didn't fight it because we tried to fight it. To fight, to fight, to fight, to fight, to fight. On fire. How about it, guys? How
My
about it?
God. Davey Boy says basically he was not impressed by Ariel's performance.
Oh dear God, please let me go first on this one.
Go ahead, Ninja.
Holy crap. Somebody shoot this guy in the fucking head. That was the biggest waste of time. I did not come back from the depths of hell to see fucking Ariel Hawaii sing this goddamn awful song.
I know, man. I'm sorry
This
to
is
do that to you.
Utterly ridiculous. Ariel Hawaii, you just signed your own fate. I hope to God you get completely fired and have to live in a box for doing that.
Yeah.
Bob Sapp attacks you on Twitter, it's because you're an idiot and you do stuff like that. You are a cancer. I hope you do not wake up in the morning. Please, for the love of God, never show that to anybody ever again.
MMA Hours of Fire. Jake, man, of course, next week we're both going to have to do our own versions. I know I'm going to do mine to Party All the Time, the music background. You're going to have to get your own together. Obviously, it's the new way to report the MMA news, doing it in the form of a played out song. So we'll be coming at you next week with that. But we are signing off for now. I believe Yaz's off the call, or at least gone, or he's probably dead. But thanks to Yao_the
So a
truth
chance
being on,
he's dead.
for being on the Word in the Street podcast this week. Jake, what do you hear? What do you say? Where can people find you? What's going on? What's the word on the street?
Simple. Follow us on Twitter at The MMA Podcast or visit TheMMAPodcast.com. Listen every Wednesday night. You can catch Ramsey's there as well. You can catch the Ray Longo punch a fucking hole in his chest fight tip tomorrow night. We appreciate the shit out of it. We'll see you tomorrow night, cocksuckers.
Hell yeah. Davey Boy also says William Hung also says he's not impressed with Ariel Hawani's performance. That was a terrible ass fucking... Well, he started something, and we're going to keep it going. I promise you, people. Ninja, where can people find you? What's happening? Time to sign off for these goddamn people that stayed up this late. What's happening?
Last thing I have to say is after I get done kicking Vanderlei Silva's ass, Ariel Hawaii, I'm going to kick your ass. Follow me at the Ninja Larson. I'm the one and only. Great to be back. I love you all.
Just dropping a challenge there. And yep. People, thank you again for listening. Tune in next time. Follow me on Twitter. The NGB Show on Twitter for now. Might change, of course. But this is the Word on the Street podcast. We'll see you guys next time. I love you.
Stay black.
Take me through it.
Well, I'm the best corner in the game. When you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you won't get. Don't you ever talk about me.
Who was talking about you?
Crabtree, don't you open your mouth about the best. Or I'm gonna set it for you real quick. LOB.